Hello, friends, and thanks for tuning into Taste Radio, the #1 podcast for anyone building a business in food or beverage. I'm Ray Latif, the editor and producer of Taste Radio, and I'm with my co-host for this episode, John Craven, Jackie Brugliera, and Mike Schneider. This is a first for Taste Radio in that we have 3 folks in the San Diego office, the West Coast branch, as it were, and just one in our Newton studio, our headquarters.
Didn't we do this before?
No.
I think all 4 of us were here, though.
Yeah,
that was great.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that when Jackie was in hugging distance.
We've done 2 and 2, where it would be Mike and I in the studio, and then you and, as in John and Jackie, here in the San Diego office. But we've never done the 3 in 1.
Yeah.
Well, here you go.
How do you feel over there, Mike? How you doing?
Lonely.
He's clearly trying to channel Ray, as in me. I refer to myself in the third person if you didn't know, because he's wearing a hat.
I'm wearing
I know.
Yes.
This is like, I feel like that's also a first.
It's a
I don't
first.
know if you usually
I've never
wear
worn a
hats.
hat before.
He
but
has also worn a hat once before, and he was trying to mock me because he was wearing like I think a button-down blue shirt and a hat, and he's like, I'm Ray. Look at me." And so
I was like, "Look at me. I am Ray Latif." But I was that day trying to mock you, but not today. I'm wearing my Live, Laugh, Labney hat, which I love, which I got from the founder of Bezzy.
Nice. Very cool.
And I'm not that lonely because my DMs are exploding with people who are like, "Where are you? Where are you? Where are you?" I've got photos of you guys. I got, so I feel like I got a little taste of what it must have been like to be at the fancy food show.
For the record, I just told everyone that you were over at the Circus Casino smoking a cigarette and wasn't in any shape to go to the show today. So
I was too loaded. I was in the gutter.
You were just at the slots, at
the slots, just barely hanging on.
3 a.m. to 3 p.m.
That's what.
He was at the place that had the sign for the $3. What was it? $3 shots,
beers,
$3 beers, and $3 table games.
Yes. Disgusting.
Wow, what a bargain.
We won't mention the name of that casino. But yeah, what John and Mike are referring to is the Winter Fancy Food Show 2025, held in Las Vegas the last couple days. Today's the last day of the show, but here are John and I in San Diego because tonight is Naturally San Diego's pre-party, exclusive pre-party for the UNFI show out here, of which we will all be attending. And very excited for that. But Winter Fancy Food Show also never fails. Tremendous show, I thought. This is the last edition of the Winter Fancy Food Show. It is evolving. It's becoming Winter Fancy Fair.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah. So a little bit of a different vibe.
Cities too, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So what's interesting is that they're sunsetting, or according to the Specialty Food Association, which puts on this show, it's evolving into Winter Fancy Fair. Now, the details aren't exactly clear. It's not exactly clear what's going to change about the show other than its location. Next year, the Winter Fancy Fair will debut in San Diego and at the San Diego Convention Center. Very excited for that. I guess everyone in the office should be able to attend without much trouble.
Oh, yeah. I will definitely be there. There's
Very
no reason
cool.
not to.
Exactly. And then the following year, going to return to its roots, the show's roots in San Francisco, which I'm very excited. Yes. Yes, 2027.
I love the San Francisco Fancy Food Show. I mean, that was a great show. It had such a good vibe, and it was a great way to kick off the year. I'm looking forward to this Summer Fancy Fair, though, too. I mean, we love San Diego.
Well, it'll be the Summer Fancy Food Show. It'll still be the Summer Fancy Food Show. It'll just be Winter Fancy Fair. So I guess the nomenclature is changing, even if the shows may not be changing that much.
Got it.
Yeah. So yes, San Diego and San Francisco, we are excited to be there, but we're also very, very excited for next month, because next month, Taste Radio and BevNet will be hosting an industry networking meetup in the sunny city of Miami. We've talked about this. It's happening February 11th at Ampersand Studios, 6 to 8 p.m. We will be there for 2 hours interviewing folks at the event, but also mingling, networking, talking to local food and beverage entrepreneurs, investors, distributors, retailers, all of whom will be there. We want to see you. If you are based in South Florida or thinking about being there in early February, we want to see you. So we're going to have a sign up On our website, yes.
Yes, you just go to tasteradio.com/Miami. It is a free RSVP, but we do ask that you do RSVP so we know who's coming.
Space is limited.
It
Or
is.
something like that.
No. It's at a very cool venue. So, yes, space is actually limited.
Yeah, and we also request that you BYOS, bring your own samples.
Many thanks to our partners for the Meetup, New Water, NEAU, Water, and Matriarch Capital. Very excited to see those folks as well.
Yes, very excited for another trip.
Yeah, you guys are just jet setting.
Going on the road
east
again.
to west to back to east.
Yeah.
I don't even know where I am right now.
Yeah.
Is this New Jersey?
I don't know. Yeah, we got up pretty early this morning, left Las Vegas. We were in the cab around 6 a.m. I actually made myself a cup of coffee here in the office to wake myself up a bit. But you remember that movie Elf when Will Ferrell, he goes to that cafe?
Can't say I'm familiar with that movie.
World's best cup of coffee.
He goes, oh, it's the world's best cup. I made myself the world's worst cup of coffee. Actually, here. It's terrible.
Well, we
But I'm
also
drinking it.
don't have the same
you got no
level of
barista
coffee.
here.
Yeah.
No, it's like it's been sitting out for 3 days. Someone put it in not even a microwave. Somebody put it like outside so that it would be heated up by the sun. And this is what I have in front of me right now.
Did you just do the Keurig? Is that why?
No, I didn't even grind new grounds. It was the grounds that have been ground already in there since like
what?
night.
Oh,
Yes.
Leftovers?
Another reason to bring Mike along.
Yeah. Ryan, our audio studio director for this episode, is looking at me like I'm absolutely out of my mind. So you want to weigh in on this? You
Ryan's
got a
like, "We don't
microphone.
drink
Go
that
ahead.
coffee.
Say
We don't
something.
drink that coffee. What are you doing?
I actually had some ground coffee in a container in the kitchen labeled vanilla macadamia nut. So
So you were drinking his leftovers.
Oh.
This is definitely not vanilla macadamia nut unless all the flavor dissipated.
All got watered down.
Yeah, exactly. All right. That was Ryan Galang. Happy
was
birthday,
Ryan
by the way,
Galang.
Ryan Galang.
Happy birthday.
The great Ryan Galang.
Indeed. All right. I want to talk about some stuff we saw at Winter Fancy Food Show because we saw quite a bit.
So much stuff.
Yeah, we saw Laurel's Coffee, a maker of A2 milk infused, or a maker of lattes made with A2 milk. They have a couple different varieties. Very delicious stuff. They come in, is it 10 ounce or slim cans or 12 ounce slim cans? I think it's 10 ounce.
10 ounce?
Yeah, 10 ounce slim cans, based in Los Angeles. They are in a handful of retailers right now, but making a big push into new ones pretty soon as well. I think they're getting into, if I recall, the founder telling us that they're going to be making their way into Whole Foods regions coming in March as well.
That would be an 8 ounce Ray. I'm like, there's no such thing as a 10 ounce can.
There's no such thing as a 10 ounce can?
It's an 8 ounce right here.
8.4.
Oh, there it is.
237
The proof.
milliliters. It's the energy drink can, the Red Bull can.
Yes. And I misspoke there. They're going to be launching in some regions of Whole Foods in September, not this spring. So, yeah. They're also doing a label refresh, which we saw.
Yeah, it looked nice.
At the show. Yes, it did look good. Hail M Cocktails. Now, everyone has probably seen these cocktail mixer type brands that have the ingredients in a tea bag, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Hail M is not too dissimilar from that, although what they were exhibiting at the show looked pretty darn amazing. I have a plastic bag, so it's going to make a lot of noise. Okay, but they have this old-fashioned,
They're cute.
and then they have a Moscow Mule as well? I think they had a Moscow Mule variety as well. And it comes in a little tea bag, just like this. And I know we've seen ones, let's just call it Seiso, which has it's a much bigger tea bag. But look at this. I mean, if you were watching on the...
yeah, you can see all the goodies inside.
on the
Some
view, yeah.
dried fruit, some, I think that's brown sugar.
Yep. So you just put this in your cup, you put a little bit of bourbon on top of it, and you got yourself an old-fashioned.
Save it for the flight home, Ray.
I might just do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
look at this. You got a sugar cube. It looks like a little raisin, or maybe it's a cranberry, and some dried orange. So, yeah. Maybe I'll try this like right now because we got some. I was opening up all
Yeah,
the
you can
cabinets.
start
for
Got a
early.
little early for that, Ray.
I was looking for some good coffee. I couldn't find any, so that's why.
Yeah, there might be bourbon in that coffee.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe try coffee beans next time instead of macadamia nuts.
Yeah, I could do that. John and I also tried a brand called Mate Party. I mean, this was a really great looking brand and had delicious products that we got to try. What's interesting about this is, when we see new yerba mate brands come to market, and sometimes they seem to be grounded in the whole ethnic aspect of yerba mate a la Guayaquil. I felt like Mate Party really brought a fresh approach, a differentiated, fun approach to that category.
Yeah, it definitely has like kind of like a retro vibe to it of sorts. And it's not like trying to scream caffeine or energy at you. It's just kind of cool and fun.
Yeah, absolutely. They have 3 varieties. They have an unsweetened, a lightly sweet, and a mint grapefruit, which was my personal favorite. It's funny. I was talking to the founder, and I said, I remember seeing your brand at a local small independent bookstore in Brookline, where I live. It's called the Brookline Booksmith. Shout out Brookline Booksmith. And they actually have a pretty amazing beverage selection there. And she said, yeah, we do really well. We ship product direct to that store. And she's like, yeah, we're always sending cases of stuff to that store. So, yeah.
I've had a mint mate before. If only I could remember where.
It's a mint mojito, sir. And that is Jazz, JAS, which is a maker of non-alcoholic cocktails that Mike is holding in his hand. This is their new product, which is their mint mojito, which we tried.
Mojito fresco.
Yeah, this was also the product that Ray said to them, like, can you send us samples? And then they were like, we already sent some to the office. Mike has them. So
I know, and also you have them.
I do. No, I said I was like, I have these in my fridge at home.
Yeah,
So-
we have them.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. I was like, yeah, whenever you
And
can,
look,
could you send us some samples?
somehow they got on the show. Oh, it's funny how that works.
No, and they were like, yeah, we already sent samples. And John was like, yeah, we already got samples.
Yeah,
I'm
crushed
like,
all of those. No.
what
This
samples
is
are you
becoming a
referring to?
game.
Nice
Hide-
job,
hide
Ray.
and
You-
seek.
We could have had more jazz.
Well, I asked, look, Mike, I'm looking out for you because I asked a brand that we saw exhibited at Fancy Food Show to send us some samples of their products. And that brand is Edenesque, EEDENESQUE. And they are a maker of plant-based milks. They have an oat milk. They also have a pistachio milk, a barista blend. That
Love
was
pistachio milk.
phenomenal. It was so good.
Was it good? And is it
they did.
It's a barista blend?
It is
Yes.
a brace
So it's
blend.
extra like
Yeah.
thick and creamy.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
also
Get in my cafe.
they did say that they had seen your latte videos and they wanted to be part of our setup.
Oh.
All right.
Yes, they
It's
follow
on.
you.
Little influencer.
Yeah.
Oh, Edenesque, thank you so much for the kind words, and I would love to make lattes.
Well, I didn't tell you what
with
they said about your lattes, so don't make any assumptions. Here.
I'm just
But we will
thank
have
you for
some
any
soon.
words. Thanks
Yeah.
for talking about us.
Pretty tasty stuff.
Yeah, and I'm just going to read from their card that they sent me here, or they sent with me from the show. A BIPOC LGBTQ women-owned company on a mission to advance social justice through nourishment. I love that. I'm
Yeah.
already bought in. Well
Same.
done.
I love the little tagline too,
What
which
is
is
the tagline?
"Be the love."
Be the love.
Yes.
Love it. Love
Nice, nice.
All right.
I'm the love.
it. John's got like 8,000 products in front of him.
I know he's just like chomping at the bit, ready to go.
What's cool about this is not every one of these brands we saw exhibited at the show. So, for example, one brand you met the founder on the plane, on the way over
down
here.
here.
Another one you just met on the floor. Another one you met at the Startup CPG party, and then the other two.
On the floor of
When
the
you
show.
say on the floor, he wasn't
Just
like laying on the floor.
Yeah, it was
like me, with
passed
a
out on the
bender.
floor. You know me.
Shove the product in his face.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I was networking all the way down to our flight from Vegas to San Diego. We're flying on Southwest. That's such a weird airline. But yeah, the boarding process so strange.
Yeah,
Anyway,
no more of that since the show is moving
Southwards.
from
Yeah.
San Diego. We just have to go from San Diego to San Diego.
So
Yeah.
so I'm
It's
like
easy.
sitting in the window seat, and eventually someone sits in the middle seat next to me because you Southwest, like people get on in the window and the aisle. It's so anyway.
Yep.
We have a weird elbow sort of middle seat, and anyway, start talking. It was Christine, who's the co-founder of NOSH. So I got a nice box of samples, and
NUFS is spelled NUFS.
Was that
Yeah.
was that after you battled her for the armrest?
I didn't win that battle. No, just kidding. No battle. But yeah, we had a lovely conversation. Good way to pass a 42-minute flight where
Nice.
it seemed like the captain couldn't fly the plane either. It was like just a washing machine. So anyway, yeah. But these are the hot honey flavor. This is gluten-free, dairy-free, seed oil-free.
Did you say what it is?
NUFS. I said NUFS.
It's crispy crackers is what it is.
crispy
Yes.
crackers.
Yes,
Excuse
so
me.
yes.
But these are the hot honey flavors. I don't know, kind of a fan of anything with hot honey,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
Same.
please.
the base like NUFS flavor is really good. Hot honey is like next level. So super excited
Cool.
for that.
And she was heading down here for the UNFI show?
Yeah.
Or for
Label hierarchy on this is phenomenal. Okay, so they're not like loading you up with the gluten-free, dairy-free, seed oil-free. Like it's at the top. It's great. It's part of the brand. Nuffs, the logo is huge. Crispy crackers underneath Nuffs, you know what it is. You have a picture of the product right in front, and then you have the hot honey variety on the bottom. It's like this to me is perfect label hierarchy.
And picture of the product that looks actually appetizing.
yeah, like
right?
you
Like,
can
I wanna
see the
eat
hot
that.
honey.
Yeah.
Right. Made with simple ingredients, made with olive oil, made with almond flour. All that's like at the bottom of the box. But what's clear is the name of the brand. You see the product. It looks delicious. You want to pick it up. You want to know more. Great stuff.
Also got some Dixie Grace's boiled peanuts. This is like one of these. I mean, man, I'm going to say something here that I'm going to regret. But PR person was like, you should go visit this.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Shout out Susan Fecco.
Yeah, I mean, she does a nice job of telling you what you need and not being like, crazy pushy. So, yes, thank you for that. But anyway, really glad we stopped and tried these. These are, flavored and I guess unflavored boiled peanuts. You can basically eat them right from the bag or microwave them for 45 seconds. A little bit of like nostalgia for me from like going down South Carolina, Georgia area as a kid, but really tasty, really nice founder, great story. So
Yeah, I had no idea that this type of product, boiled peanuts, that is, had its roots in South Carolina. Apparently, if you go to a convenience store in Southern Carolina, in South Carolina,
or to the side of the road.
Yeah, the side
Yes,
of the
right.
road, they're everywhere.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, those are the good ones.
Yeah, that's the best. It's
Yeah.
like a little taco stand. Like that's
Yeah.
their taco
Just
stand.
boiled peanuts.
Yes.
Maybe,
I
maybe
would-
some peaches too.
Yeah.
But not boiled. But
John and I were eating everything, so the shell and everything.
that's what
and
you do.
Apparently, Susan was like, "Oh, you guys are eating with the shell? You don't break it open?" We're like,
No,
that's great with the
come
shell."
on. Yeah.
And then the founder of the company was like, "Oh yeah, you get all that good fiber
And all the flavors on the shell too.
exactly, yeah, that hot and spicy one, fantastic,
Yeah.
really really good."
Ooh.
Why are you
warming
guys
this up.
allowed to get street boiled peanuts in South Carolina, but I'm not allowed to get street fish in Hawaii? I don't understand. I don't
Like
get this.
street
Come on.
ceviche. I'm behind that.
Yeah, exactly.
Street ceviche.
Another brand that we met, which is a pretty cool concept. It's called the Cumin Club, and these are basically, on the outside looks like just a standard kind of flexible package, Indian like kind of meal kit, but this is actually like freeze dried, so there's no liquid in here. You basically like rehydrate it and cook it, but the flavor on it, we were trying them at the show. It's like kind of insane. I mean, it tastes like something that's like really intense and freshly made. So
Once again, what is it though?
So the Cumin Club is a maker of individual servings of meals, Indian
Okay.
meals, and so they have a number of varieties. But as John pointed out, all you need to do is rip open the pouch, pour it into a pot, add some water, have it simmer. It's ready in 5 minutes.
All right.
So you
I'm
have
down.
a delicious Indian meal in 5 minutes. Yes, freeze-dried ingredients. According to the Palak Paneer variety, there's 14 grams of protein per pack. It tells you the spice level. Also, really good label hierarchy on this one. I feel like you get a picture of the food, you get the logo right in the center, and you get the flavor name.
And are they
right
super
underneath that.
cumin heavy? Is it like a cumin blast? Which
That's actually a good question.
I don't think so. I mean,
because now we've
as a
got a
disclaimer-
cumin coincidence here. We've got the talk back where I thought that was pretty cumin heavy. Now you got a cumin company. I mean, maybe cumin's a trend here.
I'm
yeah,
not
I mean,
sure.
we were trying these at a trade show where we had been sampling, but I mean, I feel like they were really like well balanced, you know.
Yeah, I think it's interesting too that they're explaining that like paneer is like Indian cottage cheese, which cottage cheese is kind of trending again,
Sure.
Actually, that's a really good point, Jackie. Yeah, it described on the front of pack here, Palak Paneer, Indian cottage cheese cubes, which is definitely attractive to, I guess,
Yeah, and that
consumers
just
that are
looks
in the
more
know.
like, I don't know, mainstream.
It does. And then their variety that we tried that I really loved was their dal tadka. Dal tadka, which is a creamy Indian yellow lentils with tomatoes and onions.
Get
this was fantastic.
that in my belly.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds good.
Yeah.
The freeze drying is like really interesting because I'm seeing more and more of that. I think it's just like from a shelf stable like
Yeah.
play, and I've been eating a lot of stuff on the trail, and this looks way tastier than what I'm used to.
Well, also weighs a lot less.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can I open this and it's like Spaceman ice cream?
It could be. I would guess so. Yeah.
I'm
Probably
not
just
gonna. I'm
eat
not
it
gonna.
freeze-dried.
I'm not gonna do it.
No,
Keep
that's
that.
another good
Keep
point,
that.
though.
Don't waste that.
No, we're not going to waste
Oh,
this.
no, no.
We're going to bring this home. Don't worry. Mike's like,
It's like, don't eat that yet.
Mike's like,
don't
I didn't
eat
give
it
you samples. These are my samples.
Oh yeah, you could put that in your carry-on, right? It's not
Yeah.
liquid.
That's
you could
right.
put this in your carry-on.
Yeah.
I mean, just distribution costs. You know,
It sounds
putting
like
this on a
it'd be
truck,
pretty
you could
easy to
probably put
ship
a million
if
of
it's
these on there.
space packed.
Yeah.
You can also get one other brand ripped open there.
Oh, yeah,
well,
the-
you got two really.
These are the snacks that didn't make it, so to speak, because I ate them. One is Pulpito, which this is the masala mango flavor. We've talked about these
Yeah,
before.
so
They're so
Poppadom is a
good.
maker of fruit jerkies where they use they source fruits from Pakistan, I believe.
Yeah, and apparently they really loved the comment we made about the mango guy looking stoned. So, which is weird because this masala mango guy looks like he's smoking crack or
Yeah,
something.
something.
He looks so high. He looks so
He's
high.
extra and he's holding like
Just
a little
breathing fire.
a little thing that looks like a booze bottle
Yeah, it
too.
does.
So,
Yeah, he's boozing. He's high.
yeah, super
he
super nice folks.
Tastes so
really-
good. He's gonna eat the whole pack of himself.
You know,
He's so
I
high.
probably will. So.
It's funny you mentioned that because we shared a taxi to the startup CPG party with Kristen Charbo from Glow Nuts
Oh, cool.
yesterday. We had some good conversations there, and she's like, I remember the very first time you guys mentioned Glow Nuts on Taste Radio and how Jackie was the one who introduced it to us, and everyone was just like, does it have THC in it? It looks like it has THC in it. And she's just like, I just love the fact that they, mentioned Glow Nuts because no one knew who we were. And yes, they were just kind of joking around about it being like a weed product. But in the end, it got me to know the BevNet folks a little bit better. And I mean, since then we love those guys. I mean, they're
Yeah,
great.
we love
They make
those
great,
guys.
great, great products.
And I feel like also
and
the
Grover.
packaging shows how playful the founders are a lot of
Totally.
times
Yeah.
too.
Totally.
And they're if you haven't seen it, go to their Instagram right now and watch their Highs and Glows series. It's a really great just take on what it's like to be a founder, the highs and lows, and they call it highs and glows of being a founder. And it's they really go into the ups and downs of it, and it's funny, but it's not funny too.
There you go. Last one, which Ray mentioned before, these are Breakin' Granola Bites.
Breaking Snacks is the name of the brand. Those are their granola bites. Yep.
Are you going to tell me if they're like a LLC or a C corporation next, Ray?
No, because they're gonna
What state are they?
they're gonna
based in?
join us for an upcoming episode of Elevator Talk. So yeah.
Anyway, these are super tasty. I don't know. I kind of like the granola cluster thing, like the compared to like the purely Elizabeth ones that we tried. These are a little like softer in texture. Kind of. I don't know. These are super tasty. Nice job.
Absolutely. Even more from the fan. Will you guys indulge us? Because we have even more to talk about from the Fancy Food Show.
Keep
Now,
it going. It feels like I was there.
yeah, it really does, doesn't it?
You brought the show to me.
John and I also tried a new. It's kind of like a salsa matcha type product called Tierra Negra, and it's made in Chicago. They work with a hatchery out there, which is a great incubator in Chicago, and it's described as premium Mexican dark salsa. My mouth is watering because it was so damn good. It was definitely different tasting, different texture, different kind of product than what we've already seen from salsa matchas out there. The founders were talking to us and they were like, yeah, it's pretty versatile. You can use it as sort of a condiment. You can, just use it with tortillas. You can smother a steak in it. And we were like, oh man, that sounds so
Kind
incredible
of
right now.
almost made me like I was thinking about that product this morning as I was looking through my photos, and it almost kind of made me feel like it was if a mole and a salsa matcha had a baby.
Yeah.
Really
What?
good, like depth of flavor.
That exists.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm
please.
hoping we can get samples. I gave them my business card, so we'll see.
Yeah, Ray was just like giving out his card
like,
like
send it to my
crazy.
home.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then my cards were all over the floor
Yeah.
of the
And then my shoes fell off,
Las Vegas Convention Center.
and my glasses. Oh no!
Speaking of steak, when I say steak in Winter Fancy Food Show, what are you thinking of, John?
Oh yeah, I mean it was sort of like an odd talk of the show, and if you've been to a winter fancy food show ever, the place to eat is they have these international sort of aisles from different trade associations, and the Japan one is like no joke. They have I mean, geez, at least 2 or 3 options for sushi and
really,
raw
really,
fish.
really, really good sushi.
And then they had another one that just had like, I mean, ridiculous looking Wagyu steaks that they're just like cooking and like cutting little, hunks off for you.
Could have been literally thousands and thousands of dollars worth of steak that they were
Wow.
cooking up and frying up. For
But I
folks.
mean, I feel like everyone I talked to was like, oh yeah, I had that like 3 times.
Everyone's doing rotations.
Yeah.
Putting on
Yeah.
a different hat.
I
Different
literally
disguise.
I ran into Justin Prochnow, who the famed attorney,
Mm-hmm.
at the on the casino floor where we were staying. And he goes, "Did you walk the floor today?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Did you try the steak?" He's like, "That was incredible, the Wagyu steak."
I know.
The
Yeah.
talk of the show.
Yeah.
I've seen Ray try to wheel out a whole wheel of brie. They're like a tractor tire of brie.
If you compare it to other shows, though, it's like at Expo West, like you're just eating like packaged snacks and such the whole time. Like it's a little rough on the stomach after a while. Or there's like snacks. I know give you crap for your Krispy Kreme and fried chicken meal that you always eat, but like seeing like a Hebrew national hot dog, you're like, oh my god, health food. So this was I don't know, just kind of nuts to have that on a trade show floor.
And back
Yeah.
when I was still imbibing, if you hit France at the right time, they'd have like the best cheese and the wine that goes with it, of course. So
Oh.
you hit that area at the right time. You were having some nice wine.
Yeah, well, you know what? Wagyu beef, Wagyu steak, definitely a good way to, I guess, depart, or it's a good departure from everything else that you're eating at the show. Even though everything we had at the show, for the most part, was amazing.
Definitely a lot of great stuff.
Yeah, another plant-based milk brand that I wanted to talk about was Milkish, MILK-ish. They make a watermelon seed-based milk, and watermelon seed actually produces a pretty damn good alternative milk. We had their original and their vanilla variety, both incredibly, John, contain no sugar, which was amazing. Like the watermelon seed provides a sweetness and a flavor that requires no added sugar. And there's
no
there's
added
no
sugar.
sugar.
No
no,
added
no,
sugar.
there's
Not no
there's
sugar.
no
There's no
there's no sugar either.
I mean, it
Okay.
could be less than whatever the amount is that you round down to 0. Thank
Right.
you, FDA. But anyway, yeah, it wasn't really like sweet. It just kind of almost like took the edge off a little bit,
Yeah.
gave it a little bit more like depth. But yeah, that was a product I was, I don't know, kind of really wondering what it would taste like, if it would
Yeah.
be like, drinkable. But it's good.
Very good, yeah.
Yeah, we definitely need some watermelon seed milk lattes back at the office. So
Yes, we do.
I
Yes.
never knew that was going to be a thing.
no, but we need it now.
I think we're going to get some of that. I think we're also going to, because Mike would be very, very mad if we didn't. We're going to get some of the new People products. People, PEEPAL, People. They came out with a new line of seasoning mixes, and they have a golden dal mix that we tried and was fantastic. So they were also showcasing their NOSH Best of Awards for their hot sauce, which we saw at the show as well. Mike was kind enough to tell John and I, he's like, "You get your asses to that UK booth, the Euro booth right now, because like there's like
Paul
8, 9,
Ebley is
12
there, and he
brands."
wants to
Yes.
meet you.
Yes, no, there was a broker. I think it's called Euro X. Is that right?
Euro something. I don't
Euro. I think it was called Euro X, and they represented, I don't know, well, the brands they had at their booth. There was probably like 50 or so brands there, and one of the brands that we got to see was a brand called poppadoms. It's a maker of poppadoms, but they call them, the brand is called poppadoms. And man, we tried some really, really good stuff there. My favorite variety was their duck and plum flavor,
Which has no duck.
which has no duck, but it was delicious.
Yeah,
And
we were really sad. I was looking for the duck chunks in there.
yeah, Poppadoms, and another brand that we actually saw when we were out in London, Hip Pop, a maker of gut-friendly or gut-healthy sodas. They were also represented there. Shout out to the founders, who are United fans, by the way. Thank you very much. And take it easy.
They were from they were from Manchester, and I was just before we walked up suggesting that Ray was gonna say City or United, and depending on how they answered,
Have a scrap.
their booth was gonna be all over the place.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, they answered correctly, and even if they didn't,
And they had a little love fest, so
they have a label refresh coming out. If you remember Hip Hop when we were there, The label
Did you
looked pretty
did you
good.
mourn the Brighton game together?
We did actually.
I figured.
They had a pretty good looking label. This new label that's coming out in a couple months looks really, really good, and it's really in line with what American consumers have come to expect from these types of products. And they are making a push into the United States. Actually, a bunch of the brands that we saw at that Eurorex booth are already in or making their way into Central Market in Texas. I believe this broker has a good relationship with H-E-B and Central Market, and so it's really interesting to see these UK and Europe-based brands in Texas, of all places. It's not New York. It's not in LA. It's not in, I don't know, Seattle. It's in Texas, where a lot of these brands are making their US debut.
Interesting. Yeah, I wonder what that market's going to be like compared to the UK market and what learnings they're going to get.
Exactly the same, I'm sure.
I couldn't not mention this last one, which is Mazza. Mazza, everyone knows we love Mazza. Mazza debuted a new line of lentil dips. So these act like a hummus, or, I mentioned it's kind of like a bitchin' sauce, but made with lentils instead of almonds. And so it's the consistency is actually a little bit more like bitchin' sauce, but you can dip it and use it like a hummus. So
That
it's
sounds
really,
awesome.
really good.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah,
John and I
it was
were
amazing.
using Mazza sauce on empanadas the other day, and I mean that stuff is so good. Just
Yeah.
such a
It goes
Yeah,
on
it goes on
so many
anything,
things.
yeah.
Yeah, they have 4 varieties. They have a lemon tahini, a turmeric ginger, a basil, jalapeno, and a roasted red pepper. We tried the turmeric ginger, and it was, my goodness, so good. Yep. All right, Mike's been chomping at the bit to talk about his products, the ones that he didn't see.
I've been enjoying hearing from you guys. I'm enjoying hearing what I missed and looking forward to trying some of those amazing new innovations.
Everything's been addressed to me. Attention, Ray Latif. Don't open the
Going
box.
directly to his
Well,
home.
Not
maybe
for
I'll have to
Mike.
wait till Expo West.
Not for Mike.
If I have to wait till Expo West, I have to wait to Expo West. But
For literally anyone but Mike. I want that on our package. Come on.
yeah, anyone but Mike. You were talking about the UK earlier, and it made me think about one of my favorite new sodas, Feisty, which is a brand of protein soda out of UK. And so now I've been just looking for all kinds of beverages that have protein in them, and we got the new Protein 2.0 refresh in today, which you can read about at BevNET.com. So they've just done a new brand refresh. This is a pretty nice looking bottle. It definitely shows that it's a sports drink with protein, and the flavor cues are really good. And I had the lemon lime before the show. Not too bad. I mean, you would expect like it's whey protein. You expect like it's going to be heavier or something along those lines, but it tastes like a sports drink should.
Yum.
What should a sports drink taste like?
Gatorade. I mean, that's what people want it to taste like.
No, it's a good point. I mean,
Yeah.
we grew up on that stuff, and everyone's point of reference is Gatorade. So
Everyone's point of reference is Gatorade. So if you taste a little bit like Gatorade, you might have a shot. That's what it tastes like.
I don't know. I mean, I think these days, now when I think about really good tasting sports drinks, I think of Body Armor in a weird way. I mean, maybe
That
that's not
too.
a weird
Yeah,
way.
that's another
Like,
good one.
Body Armor's fruit punch doesn't taste like it's chemicals. I don't know. Maybe they just do a good job of making it, and because they use natural ingredients as opposed to, well, non-natural ingredients. But every time I drink a Body Armor, I'm like, okay, good. I'm glad.
But it is an evolving category too. I mean, we've got like all kinds of great new sticks and pellets. Like you've got Plink, you've got Element, you've got Instant, you've got Cure Hydration. So sports drinks obviously are evolving. That said, they all do kind of sort of come back to, taste a little bit like the OG.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like you expect a certain taste for like electrolytes, like a little bit of salt, a little bit of sugar. Like that always kind of goes with the taste profile.
yeah, for sure.
But I like most of these have a lot less sugar and a lot more, a lot better for you ingredients too. So
Everything has protein these days. You can get protein in your sports drinks. You can get protein in your crackers. You can get protein in, I don't know, meat nowadays. You can,
I hope so.
we were joking around. We were
Well, that would be weird.
we were joking around about this. No, at some point there's going to be a protein infused meat. Like there's going to be extra protein. Yeah.
Like it was fed like an excessive protein diet.
No,
Yeah, the
like
cows are
slaughter?
extra muscular.
no.
Ray, have you ever heard of GMOs?
You take like a steak and you dust it with protein powder. That sounds horrible. Anywho, Protein has
Put those new
been-
protein sprinkles on top of a Kobe beef.
Jeez. Protein has been a trend on the rise for some time. And I say that because everyone's wondering what the next trends are going to be for 2025 and beyond. What's important to keep an eye on, and how do you know? How do you find out about such things? Well, you read BevNet and NOSH's 2025 trend forecast. And it's a series of articles that we released last week. The editorial team did an incredible job. Editorial and design team, that is, did an incredible job putting this together, talking to experts, talking to folks in our industry who know, well, at least have a good perspective on what's coming, what to keep an eye on. So you can read all about it on BevNet and NOSH, as long as you are, Jackie, an
Insider.
as long as you're an insider, yes. And you definitely want to be an insider to get access to this report, because there's some very, very valuable information in there. You want to become an insider?
Have you guys noticed when Ray wants to say insider, for some reason he needs you to like break the seal or something, Jackie? It's like, in case of emergency,
What's
tell
that
Jackie.
thing called?
Right?
Insider, and then it's out, and then Ray can
It's
say
like
it.
his mind blanks or something.
Yeah.
You know,
Then
I
he can
was
say
on
it. He remembers it's an insider.
I was on a pretty damn good roll until you interrupted me.
I just want to say insider more, Ray. Insider. Become an insider.
Okay, to become an insider, go to BevNET.com/insider.
Insider.
Oh my God.
Or NOSH.com/insider.
Insider.
Insider.